Welcome back, guys. Now we're getting prepared for step 4. Okay, Brent Edmonds here. So step 4 is all about self-control and discipline. Okay, so self-control and discipline. So what does that mean? I mean, we'll get into the word discipline because a lot of us have really been taught that word means negative. Okay, and there's nothing negative about that word. Okay. So real quick, so self-control and discipline is being able to stick to and remain patient during the process. Okay. So, a great example of this is Walter Mischel's experiment, the marshmallow experiment. So, if you want to look it up, Walter is W-A-L-T-E-R. Okay, that's his first name, and then Mischel, if I'm even pronouncing it right. And to spell that is M-I-S-C-H-E-L. Okay? So the marshmallow experiment was being able to, they took kids, right? And, especially when we're younger, I mean, it's very hard to remain patient, the whole experiment, and you've probably seen people do it with their dogs on the internet. But you put the treat, or in this case the marshmallow, in front of the kid. It was one marshmallow, and they had to sit there for a given amount of time. They were given directions like, hey, if you got enough discipline and you let that marshmallow sit there until the time that I come back, you can have it plus another one. But if you ate it, the experiment was over for that person, for that kid. Okay? And they were taken out of the room afterward if their marshmallow was gone when they came back. But you're rewarded for having discipline with getting another marshmallow. Okay? So, 1, this can be developed. Okay? So number 1, develop your self-awareness to know when they are in control of themselves, being in green light, or getting out of control, being in yellow or red. Okay? So you got to be able to have enough self-control and discipline to be able to recognize those things. So in order to do that, you got to be able to slow it down. Okay? Slow down the process. When everything's moving too fast, you're either going to keep it there or you're going to slow down, you're going to stop, you're going to refocus. Okay? Number 2, you're going to develop a 3-step release routine, and we're going to get into that. And you're going to be getting that document. Okay? And being able to delay instant gratification. So that means you put off something that's going to instantly gratify you to go towards your long-term goals. Okay. So an example of that, it just happened to me the other day. I delayed my instant gratification. Okay. I looked over my schedule and what I wanted to get done for this, and I'm like, you know what, I can push this off, another day. I'm just gonna watch Netflix and relax. So my instant gratification would have been relaxing, watching something on Netflix, finding something on Netflix. That would have been the instant gratification. But then I looked over my schedule and I'm like, man, I got a lot to do that I want to do in 1 week. Okay, I want to get this content out there. I want to get these videos done. The bonus videos, just everything. Okay, and I started thinking about all that. I'm like, no, I want to get this done sooner than later. So I went and did my video. Okay, it was the 30-minute strategy video in the starter bonus area. And I didn't want to be doing that because it wasn't a part of this program that you're going through right now. and it was part of another program, which I thought I had done, and, you know, I just keep thinking of other things to add on to it. And I decided to get that done, delay the instant gratification, the relaxing time, and get it done. Okay? That's where self-control and discipline came in. Also in step 8 is time management and organization. And that is that's where that came in. Okay, I had it all written down on my phone, you know, what I want to do during the week to be able to get it done. You see it, so when I get done with it, I delete it off on that day. Okay, and then I rewrite it later on. So anyway, I believe the questionnaire is going to be in here. Okay, so if I could speak right now. But the questionnaire should be in there. Okay. If not, just look below. You'll see it. Okay. Remember, with any kind of questionnaire, any kind of assessment, be 100% totally honest. Okay, that's the only way to get better. Okay, so we're going to emphasize the positive. So, the word discipline, like, you probably heard it in school, like, hey, I'm going to the dean's office, or I'm going to the vice principal's office to get disciplined. The office of discipline. So we've associated that with negative consequence, right? But it's actually a positive, right? Like the marshmallow effect, okay? Having the, being able to hold off, you got rewarded. So, whenever you're going through discipline, you got to be able to reward it, okay? Recognize it. When you recognize it, you start getting the positive effects, okay? Because, honestly, because we're sticking to the plan, right? We're staying disciplined and doing what you're asking. Recognize the process, especially as a coach. Everyone is capable. How do you build the skills up? You do reps. Okay? Sort of like how you need to be going about, the mental game. You gotta do the reps. Right? Everyone is proficient to make that change and get better. Right? It's not just our bodies, but our minds can get better as well. And then third, know and teach the difference between the actions and the feelings. Okay? I actually jumped ahead a little bit. I can't remember which video. It was either step 1 or step 2. I believe it was step 2. But, I mentioned the terminology, act different than you feel. Okay, and an example of that is, excuse me, my girlfriend came home, and she's in school, and she was tired, right? And she didn't want to do her homework. And, knowing her, she may have pushed it off. I'm like, I just threw that terminology at her. I'm like, act different than you feel. Okay? Like a little motivation thing. And that does work, okay? Me in the past before, you go into your training session sore, but like once you stretch out and you start getting into it, you're going to be fine. You're going to be loose once you stretch out properly. And then once you get into it, you start getting the energy, okay? So you just got to get into it. So your strategies that you need to be really focused on is the flush it next one mentality, okay? Flush it, kind of like a toilet, right? What happens when you go to the bathroom? You hit that knob, where does it go? Boom. Disappears. Clean water fills the bowl. So virtually, you flush it, goes away, comes back to the present moment, and you got a clean slate, right? So, our actions are like bricks, right? So if we try to do too much all at once, like say that you're going to be holding that brick, you hold on to it for 5 straight minutes, it's going to be pretty difficult, right? But if you do the small pieces and you stay in the present moment, do it 5 seconds at a time, 10 seconds at a time, 1 minute at a time, and then you start building it up. Okay, holding that brick becomes a lot easier holding it for 5 minutes. Okay, the whole flush it mentality is all about letting it go. Okay, let it go, refocus back to the present moment, get the next one, the next pitch coming your way as the hitter. Okay, so it gets you to make the next best decision. Okay, you learn from your mistake, you flush it, and you get back on track. Alright, so that's a great mentality right there. And then, honestly, that's probably one of the easiest strategies that you can incorporate. Okay? Whether it's in life or in the sport. If you learn to do it in sport, it makes it easier to use it and apply it in real life. And then the second strategy is create a recognize, release, and refocus routine. Okay? And what that means is you got to be able to recognize it. So, you've already created the BFS. You should be aware of your BFS now. Okay? So your body language focus and your self-talk when you get into those lights. Okay? So in release, you're going to create a physical cue to be able to get you back on track. Michael Jordan used to use rubber band around his wrist, snap it, so he snap back to the present moment. Okay. So then you're going to take that deep breath, and then you can have a focal point, right? It could be the foul pole. I mean, every single game, a foul pole is going to be there. I mean, if you're playing at a field that magically does not have one, then find something else. Okay, and then you go to that when you start feeling like things are speeding up on you. Okay, take that deep breath while you're focusing on it, and then when you're ready, take the mound. When you're ready, step into the box. Okay. Refocus. Okay, the TIF. Thought, image, feeling. Okay. Recognize your thoughts, have an image, and know how you're feeling in that moment. Okay, and then you repeat it. Okay, anytime you feel like you're getting in those moments, which it's not just going to be a one-off. Okay, this is your routine. You're going to get into those mental states. It's going to happen all the time. New things are going to pop up. New things, new adversity, new situations. So you're going to have to rely on this routine more than just once. Okay? So then, once you have your routine, you just repeat it when the situations come up. Okay? So, let's summarize real quick. So remember, discipline is not a negative word. It is a positive word. Okay? Reward for having discipline. Okay? There's no negative consequence for having discipline. Okay? That's probably where the mistake came in, while we were in school is, because you got a lack of discipline. So I'm going to make sure that you're disciplined and there's some sort of consequence, right? The word discipline should reward for a positive behavior, like the marshmallow effect. Okay? So you got to be able to focus on the positive, okay? You got the flush it, next one mentality, staying in the present moment, and then your strategies, you're going to create a recognize, release, and refocus routine, okay? And you're going to get that document. I don't believe there's one for flush it, but I'm going to give to you as a reminder, okay, in the members area, so we pound that. But the second strategy, you're gonna for sure get a document. And, you know, for any kind of assessments that you may get from me, make sure you're 100% honest while you answer those. Okay? So, let's tune this one out. Let's refocus. Step 5 is going to be coming up in the next 5 days. Make sure you focus on this stuff. Okay, in that 5-day period, get it down, get these formulated, and start practicing it. Okay, and then we move on. Okay, then we move on to the next step. We get you going again, and you're gonna be doing great. I mean, it's not just gonna improve your game. It's gonna improve your life. Okay, that is the main purpose. That's the main goal. All right, so now it's time for myself to check off. Okay, go get it in the members area for you, so you guys can get to work right now.